Right now, men complain the most from my experience, and please, your experience is your experience. My experience, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, the general consensus is that men feel that one, courts are biased against men to the benefit of women mothers to be primary caretakers of children. One, okay? So women are favored as primary caretakers over men. I will say, just as a caveat to that, that it seems that there's a lot of courts that are going to the 50-50. However, there are circumstances that make that not reasonable. That's a whole other conversation. But courts are leaning that way, at least here in Virginia. So one, men feel that they are disadvantaged in court when it comes to them getting possession of the kids and the ability to rear them. Two, that men are purposefully believed to be able to make more money, and it's taken advantage of about them that every other second job or additional work that they do is then going to be just added to the tab, and everything's going to continuously add to the amount of child support that you're never going to be able to get out of this. As a caveat to this, I will tell you that the mothers that I've represented in the same circumstances, that being a visitation parent or a parenting time parent, feel just as frustrated and against child support as the fathers do that have to pay. In my experience, the parent that has to pay child support, whether they're the mother or the father, and I've represented both, typically, and I don't know if I can even think of an exception, there are two exceptions of people that I've ever represented or run into that actually legitimately seemed authentically happy to pay child support, believing that that was going to the parent and not caring what the other parent was doing and saying, look, I just want my kid taken care of. That's what I need to do. Do it. In 17 years, there's two people that I think that authentically were happy to do so. Everyone else absolutely hated it and thought that the other parent was misusing the money. 3, men are angry and feeling that they're turning into just being looked at as providers once the divorce and a child custody situation is determined. They're very angry about that. And it's all tied into the feeling that they can't then actually get considered to be the primary caretaker because they feel the courts are biased against them, and that they are taken advantage of for their working capacity and looked at as only a paycheck. Here's the whole issue that I'm seeing. They complain about it at that point in time. However, a large majority of those individuals, and men and fathers and husbands also, just generally as a group, when the marriage is going well and the family is there, men are actually looking at and boasting of them being a provider. So when the marriage is going well, men are actually happy that they're the provider and actually take on that identity. And you'll hear them extol how good of a provider they are. And if their family doesn't want for anything when it comes to that. The issue is that women apparently and families apparently want and need more than just a provider. However, men are not having these conversations with themselves. They're not seeing where they're actually seeing themselves as the provider when it's good for them, and then lamenting it when it's not good for them.